My mom and I lived with my grandparents from the time I was 3 until the time I was 11. My grandparents and I spent so much time together. My grandfather was extremely proud to be a Marine. He, I think, took from his time in the Marine Corps a sense of hard work, a sense of discipline, a sense of communal service that he took with him and really instilled in the whole family, I think. He was also the fire chief in our hometown, and then when he retired, he took on the volunteer role. He was my best friend. He taught me how to ride a bike, he taught me how to swim, we hung out every day. I was about 15 when we learned that he had colon cancer. He actually ended up in the hospital because he had shingles. And that was unusual and normally happens to when people are immunosuppressed. And we discovered that he had stage 3B colon cancer. So it was very advanced. He didn't have other symptoms, but he also hadn't been getting his routine screening for many years. And I think some of the reason for that is that those screenings are scary. They're a little intimidating. People talk about how unpleasant they are. But the reality of it is that colon cancer is about 90% preventable with appropriate screening, and he hadn't gotten them. It, in some ways, felt like the chemo was just as bad as the disease, and I think that that is really, really devastating for people who have to go through it. He tried to sort of greet everything that he could with humor and brightness. When he finally received news that his diagnosis was terminal, and his response to the doctor telling him was, "So you're telling me that I shouldn't buy any green bananas?" When he passed, the viewing had a line around the block, and so many of them pulled us aside and shared that he had been doing quiet acts of service around the community for years. And it was just a really beautiful reminder to try to find opportunities in life to help other people. Haymakers is an amazing community of people wanting to be there for others, in making a difference, and in doing it in kind of an unhinged way. I think that there is a real beauty in looking at the things that are scary, looking at the things that are hard, and finding an opportunity to help others by doing them. So when I'm training, I think a lot about the example that my grandfather set for me as a person who put his body on the line on a regular basis to do something bigger than himself. What I would really love out of this experience is for even one person to decide to go get a screening. If I can get in the ring, I'm hoping that people can sort of overcome the initial anxiety or trepidation about getting their colonoscopies, getting their screenings, and really pay attention to the sort of urgent need to pay more attention to this disease.